No, so it's not that you're wrong, but so I think you're looking at a story from like a single timestamp when this is like an arrangement of years. So
Mm.
it's not like they went there and just cut down all the trees. So we're looking at like the end results of the problem. So like Pop was alluding to, they cut down portions of the trees initially to create farmland. Then as the population grew, they cut down the trees for various other reasons that you cut down trees for, whether it be shelter, whether it be fishing boats, whether it be, and kind of along the theory that I have is as the population grows, things are forgotten. For example, they made great rafts and great ships in order to travel. But if this civilization was there for, let's say, 100 to 150 years, which is a very small sample size for civilization, even in that short period of time, that boat making skill could have disappeared because the people who were making the boats prior are no longer alive. So those things start to deteriorate because you're not utilizing them every day anymore. Now you've switched to a farming culture, and some of the seafaring things have started to dwindle. And as the trees dwindle even more, the seafaring dwindles even further because you don't have what's necessary to do it. So some of these things that they were prevalent in prior are now diminishing, and now they're stuck on an island that has basically no trees left and no sufficient nutritional soil, or any way to get off of it. And now we have Easter Island.
And that's actually an amazing explanation. Just to piggyback off of it, the important thing that when you're talking about civilizations is to remember this isn't 10 years. This is generations. It would be like me talking about how, this event happened, but I'm instead be talking about the change from my grandfather, my great grandfather to me.
Yeah.
And then the other important thing to remember that with deforestation, Easter Island is just one of the most prevalent examples we can point to. Deforestation was happening at the same level throughout Europe for the use of charcoal that led to complete eradication of forested areas in massive parts of Germany and the Black Forest. And then you see it again in parts of the Middle East with the cedar trees. I think where modern day Lebanon was, there was a massive deforestation that eventually resulted in the destruction of the civilization due to a climate change.
Jeez. That's a great point. And like, I think, yes, I'm thinking it from like a group of people just went there and just hacked down all the trees, which is completely incorrect. But like, I think that's what maybe I don't know if I'm thinking from like what most people probably think of, but that's a great way to.
That's how these things are presented typically.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what it is because I am probably the average person, so like I will believe like, oh, they went there and chopped down all the trees, but it takes a set period of time, and I think that you can kind of point that out to, almost like what you were saying, Pop, with like you can like just like skills that we didn't have today. Like if I were to go back probably 2 or 3 generations, I'm pretty sure I have farmers in my family, but I know zero about farming right now. Like I'm sure I could learn, but again, yeah, if it was something where it wasn't taught or just wasn't, passed down, they're gonna forget how to make boats. They're gonna forget, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't chop down all these trees, and you just have the next generation, just doing that. So I think both of you brought up a good point right there.
It's a good ego check too when you think about it. Like think about if you were, let's say, I'm going to go far out for a second, so I apologize. But let's say time travel was real and you could go back 100 years. Think about how useless you would be 100 years ago.
I would serve a purpose. I would find something I'm good at.
Not just you in general. I'm just saying, like us as people now. Think about how useless that we would be if any of us got put back 100 years ago. I mean, we wouldn't know what to do. I mean, obviously you can learn, and there's a learning curve. But then you have to think about the point of you're a grown adult and you don't know how to do what kids do.
Well,
That is up and weird.